Hey guys, I'm Lindsay, Springdale Ozone Director, and today we are going to talk about what the Bible says about friendship. Well, first, we need it. Second, it takes work. And third, it's worth it. You see, it matters who you spend time with. Proverbs 13:20 says this, "He who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harm." There is no such thing as a neutral relationship in our life. What do I mean by this? Well, for example, you might have a friend that has more influence over your life than you even realize, and you find yourself over time compromising about things that are really important to you. Or maybe you are that negative influence to someone else. The people we find ourselves spending time with are either going to edify, which means to instruct, encourage, uplift, or discourage and distract us. Have you ever heard the phrase, "Show me your friends and I'll show you your future"? Well, it's true. You see, we become who we prioritize spending time with. And hopefully that's first Jesus, and then friends who encourage us in our relationship with Him. Don't fall for the lie that popularity is the most important thing. You see, it's possible to be surrounded by people and still be completely alone. And it's much bigger and deeper than digital connections. The age we live in allows for wonderful ways to connect with people all over the world at any time. But this can never replace the value of having someone in your life that walks with you every day. So how does the Bible describe a true friend? Well, friendship doesn't mean having everything in common and always agreeing. Jesus specifically addressed this in 1 Corinthians chapter 12 when he talks about the unity that believers should have with one another. He describes all of us working together like a physical body, describing some as hands, others as ears and eyes. And if a hand tries to do what the eye is created for, two things happen. The hand robs the eye of an opportunity to thrive in its gift. And it is also set up for failure because it will not succeed in doing something it was not created to do. Society feeds us the dangerous message that sane is safe. Because of this and our natural sinfulness, we instinctively avoid people or situations that challenge us. A true friendship is one that embraces differences and allows each person to thrive in their own gifts. It's definitely okay and wonderful to let similar interests or skills or hobbies bring you to people that you value. But when we find ourselves blending in and trying to become another version of someone else, we lose our true identity that God has given us. Proverbs 27:17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another." We are here first and foremost to help each other look more like Jesus. But here's something to keep in mind. There are ups and downs to every single relationship, and part of maturing is being able to work through challenges without hurting the people around you. A true friend is one that seeks the absolute best for you, even when it's difficult. Well, speaking of what's difficult, what does the Bible say about people who are not our friends? Ephesians 6:12 says this, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, authorities, powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Recognize first that we all make mistakes. Part of being human is having to deal with our own sin and the sin of others. So I want you to think about a friendship that has either ended completely or has at least been through trouble spots. Where did things go wrong? Well, the truthful answer for all of us is the Garden of Eden. You see, when Adam and Eve disobeyed God by listening to Satan, sin was introduced to mankind. Now it's almost impossible to imagine what it would have been like to live in perfect relationship with God and each other, but this was what Adam and Eve had in the Garden of Eden. Sin changed everything. Perfection is no longer attainable for us through our own power. Therefore, our ability to have healthy relationships depends on our relationship with God. We all make mistakes. That's unavoidable. But it's our response to those mistakes that sets us apart. We have the power to forgive because we ourselves have been forgiven. Now, this doesn't mean you have to stick it out or overlook unhealthy patterns. But we can forgive a person who has hurt us, and we can move on with our thoughts, time, energy, and gifts, because these things are too precious to be wasted on bitterness and revenge. So how can I be a good friend? Well, first, I can be authentic, and then I can forgive and ask for forgiveness, because this is where we begin to experience part of heaven on earth. So what does the Bible say about friendship? Well, first, we need it. Second, it takes work, but it's worth it.